So today we're gonna be covering something a little different than the last bits of content. We'll be talking about my rucksack for today. Just kind of the stuff I got in it, not really breaking down what you should have in it, things like that. We're just gonna be talking about what I got in mind, what I'm thinking about putting in it, and a little bit about how you should pack your ruck. First things first, I guess I should talk about the scrim on the outside, since that's the first thing I'm taking off. This is a 100 Concepts pack scrim in multicam, of course. The ruck is in multicam, so I wanted to match the colors. It's actually pretty cool and took zero time whatsoever to actually set up. We're just gonna throw that over there for now. But as you can see off the top, we got my patrol pack, because when I stop moving, I'm gonna be able to put the stuff I need, only the stuff I need, into a smaller pack and be able to move on from whatever patrol base or where I am, so with a smaller, more compact solution for carrying, instead of running around with a rucksack the whole time, because nobody does that. It doesn't make any sense. How can you maneuver with a rucksack on? Questions that need answers, but not really, because we already know it. At the very top of the pack, you see there's a big freaking trash bag in here. Not so much just a regular trash bag, but it is a contractor bag, 4 mils thick, and I bought, I think, a 20 pack or something like that at Tractor Supply, so I could go ahead and put some extra waterproofing around the things in the pack. But the tarp stays on the outside of this thing. It stays in the back, right behind the frame, against the frame, I guess you could say, is the tarp. And I bought this at a surplus store. It's just a Marpat tarp. Can't even remember what I bought it for. I just remember it was a surplus store 30 minutes away or so. We'll just go ahead and put the pack on top of it. First thing at the top of the bag, my whoopee. I have a whoopee just so I can lay it out if I'm ever chilling out somewhere and I don't really want to, take out my sleeping bags and get all my sleeping system out. All I need to do is grab that whoopee right there, straight off the top. I think it's a better idea to leave that at the top as opposed to put my clothes or my sleeping system at the top, because first of all, I don't want to unpack everything and then have to pack it back in there just to get the whoopee. So it's all the way at the top. Right under that, we have my clothes bag. Right now, doesn't have much in it. I have BDU top and a BDU bottom. I also have this dry bag, has 2 t-shirts, 2 pairs of underwear, and 3 pairs of socks in here. You would not believe how compact you can make things when you use the rolls that you can search up on the internet, Ranger rolls and things of that sort. Next in the pack, I have my waffles. If it gets colder outside, I like to put them under my BDU top and BDU bottom. Have my BDU top right here and my BDU bottom all the way at the bottom here. Next, and this should probably be higher up, but my tent. I have this tent, and I think I have 12 tent poles in here. Way more than what I actually need, but I don't know, I keep them there in this pack. In that little pack. And at the very bottom, we have 2 sleeping bags, one of which is rated for 23 degrees Fahrenheit and the other is rated for 45 plus. I did that intentionally. I'm waiting on a third one for -4 degrees. And I did that specifically because I wanted to remake kind of like the US Army modular sleep system. On three packs, well, not 3 packs, but 3 sleeping bags for different temperatures and things of that sort, because I don't want to have to change what I'm carrying, I guess. I don't want to limit myself either, because in North Carolina, the weather is kind of crazy. One day it may be 40 degrees, the next day it may be 20, next day it may be raining, next day it may be snowing. You know, you can never really tell. So I didn't want to limit myself, so I just basically recreated the modular sleep system. And here we have my bivy sack. Straight up just goes over my sleeping bags to waterproof them and keep my heat inside the sleeping bags a little bit better if it's colder than what my sleeping bags are rated for. So I usually keep that one way at the bottom. Below those doesn't really matter at the moment, because I mean it's not like right now is a day I would probably use it. Overcasty. I know y'all can't see it, but water is falling right now. There is a little bit of, well, I won't say exactly falling, but you know, the things are getting wet as they sit out here longer. Over here in my sustainment pouches, I have my camp cup and the cup I like to cook in or boil water in. I have them separate, of course. I have this one. This is the one I would be drinking or eating out of, and this will be the one that I'm cooking out of. You can tell, well, I know you probably can't tell from back there, but this thing is dirty on the outside because it's been over open flame. I can't even tell you how many times, but but I can tell you on the inside it has 2 more cups, and I'll only pull out one here because the one has stuff in it, but oh my God, and I can't grip it. Here we go. It has 2 cups, 2 green little cups. So really in reality, I don't need the aluminum one, but I keep it just in case. I also have in here little steel wool. And I also have my water purification tablets sitting in here. I don't really want to dedicate a crap ton of space to small things when I can pack the small things in the bigger things. I think that makes sense in my head. Put that back in here, and alongside that, right next to it, I have my E-tool. I see a lot of people kind of avoid these. I didn't buy this from surplus. I think I bought it brand new. Not even sure where I got it from, but I bought it brand new a while back, like a long ways back. And it's pretty useful. I know a lot of people don't really see a use in it, but you can dig the coat of fire pits with this thing, dig out your fighting positions, all kinds of things. You can even clear out an area for a better place for your sleeping system, or not so much your sleeping system, but I guess your whole little camp area. You just dig things out, unfold it, fold it back up. I mean, it's not really, it doesn't take up a lot of space. I mean, it's relatively thin and very useful. So I usually recommend that a lot of people carry E-tools and things of that sort. I have my water filter, my 𝐃𝐸𝐬. I think also in here I may have some more purification tablets. 100 feet of 550 cord. And my 𝐬𝐮𝐬𝐫𝐞 poncho. I think it's actually pretty cool. I mean, things I have like this Whoopee, for example, the tarp, this poncho, all these things are multi-purpose things. The tarp can be used to cover up where you're sleeping, like your little camp or whatever. It can also be used to collect water, all kinds of things. Same things that can be used for, my poncho can be used for. Like my Whoopee, for example, it doubles as a poncho liner. It's also a Whoopee, and it can be used for multiple things. Other than that, you know, so a lot of my stuff, I kind of think of it as having redundancies. If I lose one, I have the other. Or, you know, just having multiple things for one purpose, I feel like it's just a great idea. And this pretty much covers everything as far as what's in it. Doesn't really cover. Oh yeah, and I also have, I forgot to mention, but also have compression sacks for basically all of the big things, sleeping bags and stuff like that. I have compression sacks for, but I don't keep them in the compression sack. I like to spread them out along the bottom so that the rucksack can sit up just like it is right now. It sits up on its own. I mean, I like to do that, and also it gives me space at the bottom where lighter materials are, and it puts all the heavier things at the top. When you're packing your ruck, you want things that are light to be all the way at the bottom and the heavier things to be at the top, closer to your back. So I like to use my sleeping bags, and if my Whoopee wasn't what it was, I would put it at the bottom. You know, I like to put the clothes right above it, and then I put all the heavier kind of things on top of it. So that's why you see my assault pack there. My chest rig goes on top of it. My helmet goes on top of it. There's plenty of things that I don't have right here that would go on top of it, but because I have them in my house or I'm using them at the time, they're not going to be in there. But you put the heavier things at the top, and I probably should have included them in this video so that you could see visually what I'm talking about and what I mean. But that's pretty much the thought behind it, is you put the softer things, the lighter things way at the bottom, and it just makes it a lot better for your back. It makes it a lot better just in general, you know, when you're rucking. So that's kind of why I have everything set up the way I have it, like the assault pack being at the top. Of course, I don't want to bury it. Then I'd have to do exactly what I'm doing right here, just unpack everything right here, pack it into the bag, pack everything back, and go about my day. I don't want to do that. I want to be able to take that out and immediately strip everything from the outside that I may need. Like, I know some of the things I haven't shown, they're in my chest rig. They would be in my cargo pockets of like my BDU pants or something like that. They'd be in my jackets pockets, like this jacket has pockets. I have a lot of stuff here. So basically the rucksack for me doesn't include any of my observation tools. It doesn't include my map, my note-taking equipment. It doesn't have any of my markers. It doesn't have, you know, my IFAK. My IFAK is belt mounted. I have another one that I will be mounting to this pack. It's a bigger IFAK, but it's not on here right now. There's just a few things, you know, this doesn't include, and they will be included in other videos. When I start to do my chest rig and plate carrier breakdown, you'll see that other stuff that I haven't listed here. Like, for example, my binos, I keep them in my cargo pocket. I keep my note-taking stuff in my jacket pocket. My compass, that's in my chest rig. Markers and map markers, things like that, that stuff stays in my chest rig or in my jacket pockets. That's what I call first line gear. That stuff, completely exclusive away from the rucksack. This is pretty much the only things I keep in my rucksack. Clothes, sleep gear, all of the big things stay here, because if I'm moving to an objective or something like that, there is no reason for me to have a tent on my back. Like there's no reason for me whatsoever to have that. There's no reason for me to carry 5 different pairs of outfits, things like that. There's just no reason for it. So mostly the things that are in here are soft things, other than, of course, my E-tool and things like that. I'll take some tools like that. E-tools will be in here. But when I get to where we set up camp, where we have our PB, usually that stuff will be taken out and put into my assault pack if it'll be needed for the objective, you know. So hopefully this kind of helps understand the utility behind a rucksack, what kind of things you should look to put in your rucksack, and kind of put into perspective what kind of things should be you wear, and also just how useful some, I guess you could say, how useful some surplus things are. Because a lot of people think that surplus is bad. I'm not a person that, I was never in the military. I have no military experience. This rucksack, I did not get this. You know, this was not issued to me. This is my personal rucksack. I bought this for $280 off of eBay. Everything else, you know, I kind of just collected over time, the BDUs. Those are brand new. I brought those. But some of the things, like the tarp, for example, and the E-tool, buying that kind of stuff, and the tents, the whoopee, even the clothes bag that I have down there buried, and even if you bought a modular sleep system from the military, it's not a bad idea to have those kind of things in surplus. Now, or buy those things surplus. Some things I don't recommend buying surplus are like plate carriers, unless it's like a JPC or something like that. I guess that's cool. Helmets are a good thing to buy surplus, believe it or not. I'm going to do a video on my helmet. I know some of y'all, I think y'all have seen my helmet in the, I think it was in the camouflage your rifle video. I showed my helmet. That is actually an ACH. People don't know just how easily you can get something like that turned into a high cut helmet. And it's so much cheaper, like buying a Team Wendy helmet or something like that, or buying an Ops Corps helmet, spending $1,000 on a ballistic helmet, when I went and spent $500 and got an ACH chopped. So things like that. I mean, even a ACH that hasn't been chopped, you spend $180, $200 on one of those, because prices have went up. They used to be $100, $125. You know, prices have went up on ACHs, but that's something that's not bad to buy surplus. Even, you know what? Never mind. I'm not gonna say that one, but some things you can't really beat surplus. Like this rucksack right here being $280 for me was a lot better, because first of all, you go buy a pack for 300 something bucks that's half the size. You can't put sustainment pouches on the outside. It probably doesn't come with a frame, things like that. You go do that kind of thing, and then it doesn't even fit what you need. Like that right here, this tent right here, this is pretty big. I don't think, none of my other backpacks can fit this. And the only one that, well, I have another one that can fit it, but it'll fit it vertically, and I wouldn't be able to fit anything around it. So like my assault pack, for example, it won't fit anything. It won't fit any of this. So, you know, I think having a pack that you know can fit everything is probably smarter than having to buy 9 different packs and trying them out, which is what you have to do sometimes. I mean, if you want to pack for a certain purpose other than what mine is, I mean, you just have to see which one is best for you. You got to sometimes just bite the bullet and buy one. It may not fit, and maybe you can sell it on eBay or something, get rid of it. Maybe give it to a friend. I mean, I do that. I give a lot of things away because I tried it and it didn't work. But, you know, I think for some things, it's going surplus is not a terrible idea. This, like tarps, for example. I bought a Marpat tarp. It's the only thing I have in Marpat. Does that really matter? Not really. I mean, hell, it would work pretty good out here. Marpat is great out here. So is multicam, things like that. People like to take into account the camos they have and stuff like that. Some of these packs don't have any camos, like the expensive ones. So I mean, if that's something that's important to you, surplus wouldn't be a bad idea. Especially when you're looking specifically for MARPAT and multicam kind of things. But hopefully this helps you. I'm gonna do some more gear related posts in the future, explaining my belt setup, my plate carrier, my chest rig, my helmet, even my first line gear, things like that. I'm gonna put my BDUs on and get everything just fully kitted, do another video. Hell, I may bring the rucksack back when I update it, do an updated video, because I am going to be adding a lot more stuff to this. Just like I have more stuff even at my home that I need to be packing into these packs that I just haven't yet. But I'm looking forward to putting out more gear videos so that y'all can see and kind of understand more about what kind of things you should have if you want to seriously be considering these things. Other than that, I ain't got nothing else to say. See you in the next one.